my abilities are slowly diminishing. So I'm like able to like adapt to each one. Some days I'm like, oh, I woke up like a few couple months ago and I realized I couldn't lift this finger anymore. Just like, oh, that one's gone. And that's weird. That finger will never go back. Every day is the strongest I'll ever be again, but also the weakest I've ever been. That's weird. It's really weird. I have young parents. My mom had me when she was 16 years old, and my sister when she was 15 years old. She didn't learn her lesson the first time. She was also working all the time. So my grandma was watching my sister, myself, and my two younger uncles when my mom was working all day long. I would skateboard in the streets all day, every day, and then when I got home, I didn't do my homework. I just drew pictures of comic books and just randomness. When I was in 6th grade, my grandmother was taken to the hospital and got an emergency tracheotomy because she couldn't breathe, and we found out that she had ALS. ALS is a neurological disease. Your brain sends a signal to your muscles to move, and that signal dies away, and your muscles atrophy, all of your muscles in your entire body. There's not a muscle that does not get affected, essentially. There's currently no cure, no treatment. Most people don't live past 5 years. That was devastating for everyone on its own. And then like 4 or 5 years later, when my mom was diagnosed at 30 years old, my mom taking care of my grandma at the time too, holy shit, I mean, that was insane. You know, your whole world goes crashing down when you see your grandmother dying and then your mom gets diagnosed with the same disease. This horrible disease became a normality for me. And after I graduated college from LMU, I needed to move back home to help take care of her more because she was becoming more dependent. Wedding photography was the only profession I could do while taking care of my mom at the time. It was a really flexible schedule so that when my stepdad was working, I could be at home during the weekdays. And on the weekends, I would photograph weddings and love and engagement sessions and elopements, and it became the most perfect thing. I was photographing 45, 50 weddings a year. And so I thought that I was feeling weak because I was overdoing it. I thought I had carpal tunnel. My hands were becoming an issue because they were getting crampy. I photographed a wedding where in the morning I couldn't button my shirt. And I had to have my assistant not only help me with my equipment, but help me get dressed. I was just photographing the wedding. Don't think about it. Don't think about it. Well, after this wedding is done, we're gonna address it. We're gonna figure it out, and let's just get through today. Let's just get through today. And I got through the day and made my appointment with my physician and the neurologist, and I was diagnosed with this shitty disease called ALS. I had 35 weddings booked that year, and I told all of those 35 brides that I could not photograph their wedding anymore. And I gave up photography. That was 2 years ago. It never crossed my mind that I would get this disease. I felt like our family has gone through so much that it would be so unfair and impossible for me to also get this disease 3 generations in a row. That I was taking care of my mom, and I was only 26 years old, and I was so young, and most people don't get this disease until they're a lot later in their life. When I was diagnosed, I was incredibly depressed because the thought, this isn't fair. I just that would make me cry just even thinking about it. It's not fair, dude. Not fair. Oh, I hate to admit it sometimes, but it's not, dude. We're still understanding this disease. A lot is unknown. In my case, our family has a genetic mutation that's responsible for this disease, and it's a dominant gene. I can still do most of the things that I could do when I was healthy. It's just that it takes an extraordinary amount of effort still. So I can't pull the blankets up to my chest anymore. I have difficulty brushing my teeth, or I can't put my deodorant on, or brush my hair, or shave, so I have my wife help me with those things. My wife married me despite my illness, and not many would. And the fact that she reassures me every day that she loves me no matter what, no matter how much my body changes, and no matter how much she has to help me, that she still loves me unconditionally, and that she's not going anywhere. That reassurance in me shuts down all my insecurities. That I don't want her going through this. I don't want her to have to do all this stuff. And she every time I have even that kind of thought, she shuts it down and tells me, I'm here. Stop saying shit like that. And I'm not leaving. I'm right next to you, right here with you. Even if we're gonna cry it out together, we'll cry it out, and then later on, let's go get some ice cream or something, and then she'll make a silly face and make me laugh and make me forget about all my troubles, So Lauren is a special woman, and I'm so blessed to have her in my life. Super fortunate and blessed, and y'all weren't. After I was diagnosed, I gave up photography. And then a year and a half after I was diagnosed, I missed my creative outlet so much. Photography was something that I really, really enjoy. So I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna figure this out. Even though I can't carry a camera, I'm gonna take some pictures. I mounted my camera to my wheelchair, Jimmy rigged it. I also have a speaker on here, external battery, got a water pack, everything I need to be in the streets to survive, essentially. And I can take photographs again. And I can take photographs again no matter, I feel like I will figure out a way to take pictures no matter what stage in my disease I'm in. I go out every healthy day and I take photographs of people in the streets that I encounter, and my wheelchair removes all social boundaries. People are not intimidated by my camera anymore. I photograph strange compositions, awkward moments, people that are just tripping out by me, they don't understand who I am. I either get the super friendly encounter, or I got the side of the eye, don't stare at them, but I want to know what the heck is going on, kind of look. You have to get creative when you have all these limitations set upon you, whether it's physically and also technically too. And so that's brought up some interesting perspectives. You know, almost all my photographs, I'm looking up at people. And I've never, every photographer you ask, you never want to photograph up at someone. But almost all my pictures are people looking down at me. If you see my pictures, it's like from a perspective as if you're in a chair. And so you kind of like almost start to understand what it's like to be in a chair too. Photography brings so much to me and also others that I meet, and now people that also see my work too. I'm not that my work is insanely great. It's not beautiful. My pictures I don't consider them pretty, but they're kind of gritty and they make you feel something. That's my hope. Like I don't want a photograph that looks pretty on your wall. I want a photograph that you look at and you think about something, or you feel something, or you realize the impermanence of these moments. It's amazing because I am appreciating this now because I know that later on I may not be able to do it anymore. It makes it bittersweet. Bittersweet, but like it makes you like focus on it, like hardcore. Like it makes you want to cry every day for like the beautiful moments and the hard moments, you know? If you ask a photographer to go in the street and take a photograph of a stranger, it is hard. It is incredibly difficult, and people are very apprehensive. As soon as you lift the camera up people get defensive. But because I'm in my wheelchair, I look super innocent, and they barely even see my camera, and I don't ever lift it to my face, so it's not intimidating. It's freaking cool that this can start a conversation that might have a small impact on someone's life in the streets. And then I can hopefully document it and photograph it, and people can also see that experience through my images. That's cool, man. That's so cool. That's exciting for me. It's really exciting for me. I feel like I could really make a difference in my chair, taking pictures, doing what I love, and that's cool. It's cool. No matter where this disease brings me, I'm gonna do my best to fight as hard as I can and live my life as fully as possible. That's all I can do. Why do we wait to get sick to live a meaningful life? I don't know. I got a comment on my video, like, what is it like to be dying? You know? And then I was like, well, you tell me, dude. Like, you are too. You don't know that? We're not just dying, I'm living. Are you living too? Like, let's live with purpose and with love and integrity and like, you know. And so anyways, this disease has, in a weird way, has blessed me with this clarity of just this understanding of that, well, this life is short. And we gotta love every single fleeting moment because it's not permanent.
Hey everyone, Phil Ebner here. I'm the director of the short documentary you just watched with Anthony, and we just want to say thank you so much for taking the time to listen to Anthony's story, and we hope that you can just spread a little bit more awareness about ALS. In conjunction with the premiere of this film online, we wanted to offer a photography class that we've collaborated on. If you thought Anthony's photos were awesome in the short doc, which they are, and you want to learn a little bit more about how you can take your own amazing street photography, we've included a link below to the street photography class that we've put together. And yeah, we just wanted to take a little short minute to...
Sorry, I have my dog in the frame. If we are allowed to go off of that, I think we can transition to that real quick, or if you want to redo it. But I wanted to say, I just want to quickly say thank you to Phil. Phil, this is Phil's idea from the start, and you know he's a friend of mine. So being in front of the camera is always really awkward for me. Being behind it is always really easy, but being in front of it is always really awkward. But the fact that Phil the fact that you were behind the camera, it really made it really personal and really easy for me to be vulnerable and share my story. So I just want to say thank you. And I also want to say to other families that are afflicted with this disease, it's very difficult to talk about. But I think by being open and sharing and being vulnerable, you're allowing others to be as well. So I think that was a big reason for me doing this video, even though it's really difficult. I think that it can have a pretty big impact. So you viewing this, thank you for watching. Thank you for sharing. And stay updated. Follow Phil, follow myself. Maybe there's links in the bio.
Yeah, we'll include some links below to your website, anthonycarbajal.com, to your Instagram account, which is awesome because you get to check out Anthony's street photography work. He updates it practically every day. And then you can always visit videoschoolonline.com to see the course and more information about the course and check out all of my other courses and the things that I'm doing personally.
Heck yeah. And I think that's about it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think that's it. So
Cool.
thanks so much for watching.
Thank you.
And please share, like it, subscribe.